coast is one of our greatest assets and is constantly changing. We need to determine how we can protect our communities from the impact of climate change now and into the future. A coastal management program sets the long-term strategy for managing our coast, identifying risks to our coast, and how to manage these now and into the future. Port Stephens Council are currently at Stage 3 of 5 in the development of our coastal management program. In Stage 1, we determine the main coastal hazards impacting Port Stephens, including dune transgression, coastal erosion, tidal inundation, and coastal inundation. In Stage 2, we looked at these coastal hazards in detail and modelled each hazard across our coastal zone during the timeframes 2020, 2040, 2070 and 2120. Let's explore this mapping to better understand how these hazards are predicted to affect our coastline over the next 100 years. We're comparing the 2020 and 2120 mapping. First, we'll look at coastal erosion, both in the present day in yellow and the predicted risk at 2120 in orange. The 2020 scenario is for a designed storm event, and the future scenarios include both long-term erosion and that due to a storm event. Beaches naturally change over time due to changes in the wind, waves and currents that transport sand. Short-term erosion occurs over a period of days during a coastal storm event. During the storm, waves erode the beach and transport the sand seawards. Once the storm passes, the beach gradually recovers over a period of time. Long-term erosion occurs over a period of years to decades. After a big storm, the sand eroded from the beach might be taken too far offshore and unable to make it back after the storm, causing a permanent loss of sand. In future, higher water levels due to sea level rise will accelerate the long-term erosion. Now we'll look at the tidal inundation risk, identified on the map by shaded light blue for present day and shaded light purple for the predicted 2120 risk. Tidal inundation of land normally happens due to the rise and fall of the ocean during regular astronomical tides, not due to a coastal storm. Our map indicates what's called HAT, the highest astronomical tide, which is the highest water level that can be predicted to occur due to any combination of astronomical tides. The mapping shows the highest possible tidal water level that could occur and corresponds roughly to the extent of inundation that might be witnessed once or twice a year due to elevated ocean water levels due to a storm. This doesn't mean it will occur twice a year, it just means that this extent of inundation could occur once or twice a year. If this happens, low-lying land would be inundated for a period of hours during the highest tidal water levels. Under sea level rise conditions, the extent of tidal inundation will increase and low-lying land will become permanently inundation, as shown in the 2120 mapping. These maps show coastal inundation, otherwise known as storm tide inundation, in the present day in light green shading and 2120 in dark green shading. Coastal inundation occurs when a combination of marine and atmospheric processes raises ocean water levels above normal elevations and inundates low-lying areas or goes over dunes, structures and barriers. It's associated with storms, resulting in storm surge and waves. There's only a 1% chance of a 100-year storm tide occurring in any given year. Over time, sea level rise will increase the risk of coastal inundation, as shown in the 2120 mapping. Lastly, we'll take a look at the predicted dune transgression risk at 2040 in the lighter pink and 2070 in the red. We weren't able to map this too far in advance at 2120 as it's too unpredictable. Dune transgression is the wind-borne transport of sand, causing a dune to gradually migrate over time. The Stockton Bight sand dunes located in our LGA are the largest moving dunes in the Southern Hemisphere. We're now in Stage 3 of the Coastal Management Program, working with our community to consider options to manage these identified hazards and threats to our coastal zone. Learn more about the program and how you can have your say on Council's website.